tonight.
Goes to the inside, down to the turn number one, gives it a go.
Giving the push to Chris Overland, putting him back into the lead.
Gonna go side by side, it's gonna be door to door. Who gets it?
Oh my God! They tied almost! Yeah, this is going to be one of those races where you're just going to have to hold your breath the entire time.
Everybody up, Taraska and the number 4.
Contact, speed, blast, hard round.
That's the big one.
So I was looking at the new Aurora, but then I was thinking, maybe I should get something that looks a little classy. But then I was like, no, I need something that can pull some serious weight. Maybe I don't need all that cargo space. What about the Legionnaire? Now we're talking. How about some bigger guns? Little bigger. No, little bigger. There you go. And maybe some rockets, too. Actually, I should probably upgrade the power plant. I did like the leather seats on that LX, though. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's see what this baby can do. Bigger cargo.
RSI's Aurora. There are many like it, but this one is yours.
Tuned in live on Checkered Flag Interactive. This is big here tonight.
Goes to the inside, down to the turn number one, gives it a go.
Giving the push to Chris Overland, putting him back into the lead.
Gonna go side by side, it's gonna be door to door. Who gets it?
Oh my God! They tied almost! Yeah, this is going to be one of those races where you're just going to have to hold your breath the entire time.
Everybody up, Taraska and the number 4.
Contact, speed, blast, hard round.
That's the big one.
Welcome live to Checkered Flag Interactive here. We are up in the blimp right now getting set and ready for the pre-season of London Recreational Racing Sportsman Series here. The UpperEdge Racing Series returns here on Checkered Flag Interactive Thursday nights 9 p.m. We're at Daytona International Speedway. Steve Bonestein, Shane Doherty, along with Chase Cabre up in the booth here as we get set and ready to go racing here at Daytona. I tell you what, boys, it's going to be a pretty awesome race. It always is here with these guys. First race of the season pretty much right here. No points on the line. It's all about winning or losing and getting that good momentum going into the first race next season. So, I mean, these guys, it's going to be an exciting race out here, I'm sure. I'm excited. The season's going to be a big one for sure. Lots of sponsors, lots of drivers, just so much going on this season. And it's going to be a great one.
Yeah, definitely, Steve. We've got some new faces, also a new main sponsor of the series, no longer the CMC Sport Series, now known as the London Recreational Racing Sportsman Series, so a little bit of a change there, and also some new faces from around the iRacing service joining already the strong group of drivers here for the third Sportsman Series season in the UpperEdge Racing League, and it's going to be a ton of fun here. And just as you said, Steve, pretty much the first race of the season. Not going to be a point race tonight, a 45-lap shootout for these guys, but nonetheless, going to bring a ton of action-packed racing.
Yeah, Daytona always produces some good racing, 2, 3, 4 wide sometimes even. So I know a lot of these guys in here, they're really strong and really smart, so I'm really interested to see how this one's going to turn out, and I feel like we're going to see some great racing here tonight.
Just about a minute left in qualifying, and David Ankeny, one of the newer drivers for this season, is on the pole right now. Got about 100th or so over Byron Daly and also Michael Larrea for your top 3 so far. Going to wrap up qualifying here in a couple of minutes here, and we'll be set to go for tonight's race.
Yeah, Byron Daly, one of your pro drivers, looked to start P2 tonight. I actually went to GoPro Motorplex about 2 weeks ago with Byron, and I met him, shook hands with him. He's a really, really good driver, and not only on the sim, but even in those just rental go-karts out there at GoPro. He's a really smart driver and really good. I look to see what he's going to be able to do tonight.
And now I'm trying to get a ring in with one of the drivers, driver of the number 78, Joe Lawrence. It's Steve Bonestein up in the booth. Do you got me, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, we are getting ready to go green here in just moments as qualifying wraps up. Looks like it's going to be a 10th place starting position for you. What's it going to be like out there?
You know, I'm not really sure. It's a new season, so I'm sure everybody's all excited, and that might affect some of the driving. There might be some stupid moves out, so we just gotta avoid it and be there at the end.
Well, with the new season getting kicked off, of course, one of the big things this season is we will have the elimination-style chase. What are your thoughts on that, and what does it do to change your strategy throughout the season?
I do enjoy the elimination style chase, because a lot of tracks I struggle at, but I'm really good come chase time, so if I can get in the chase, I usually have a good shot. But it definitely brings the winners definitely have a good shot.
Alright, well, before we get going here in just moments, who do you have to thank for making it happen for your team?
Definitely gotta thank Ryan for the great paint scheme here, and then all my teammates really all helped me become a better driver, so we'll see if we can get a win.
Alright, back up to you, Chase and Shane, up in the booth.
Yeah, it's definitely, the cars are getting pushed to the grid. They're getting ready to roll off here, set for a great race here tonight. We got a full field of 28 cars who took qualifying time, 32 in the session, 28 took qualifying time, and I'm looking to see what strategies are going to play out here tonight. You're going to have some guys who are going to lag in the back and look out for these early wrecks and try to get out of the big one and come on strong at the end, as opposed to other guys who are going to try to be up front all night long and hope for the best. So it's really a strategy game here at Daytona, and it's going to be a good one.
Definitely, Chase. And one thing to point out, it is a shootout race, 45 laps, no points on the line. The only thing is the winner's circle here tonight. You win, well, you get the pride of saying you won the shootout race before the season even gets started. So definitely, these guys going to put it all on the line here, as usual. They always do in the UpperEdge Racing League, but especially tonight, here to get kickoff in yet another fantastic season as the field begins to roll here. We got tons of new faces in the field, but also the car count. Very impressive for UpperEdge. They continue to get bigger and bigger each year, and we'll see that this season as well as the fields continue to grow.
We are currently rolling behind the pace car right now, so the field is just a matter of moments away from getting the green flag. We'll recap you on what the end of the last season was. Well, really, it was tons of excitement. Corey Hoover was able to, having a pretty solid season at the beginning, and then all of a sudden things got really tough for him. He struggled for a while. Teammate Austin Hartenfels also struggled after missing a couple of races, and then he was able to come back at the end of the season and come away with the victory. Clinched it, actually, 2 races to go. So we'll have to keep our eyes on him when we get the season kicked off. But right now, like we said earlier, no points on the line. It's win or lose.
The pace cars leading the field down into turns number 3 and 4. David Ackney, we start along Byron Daly on the front row. It's going to be definitely intense these first couple laps as everybody just kind of falls into line. We've been told that there's no resets in this show tonight, so like I said, strategy is going to be key as they come off turn number 4, coming down to the green.
Field gets set here behind the ACCL pace car. David Ankeny, Byron Daly, Michael Larrea, Mark Roppolo, and Chad Coleman. Your top 5 here as the 2016 London Recreational Racing Sportsman Series is officially underway with their shoot.
Yeah, drivers already stacking up, nose to tail on the bottom, nose to tail on the top. Give the lead to Byron Daly as he's going to duck down now in front of David Ackney and give the top side over to that number 3 of Mark Rapolo.
An inside line quickly forming as the favorite here in the first 2 turns as the field works its way down the back straightaway. You can tell already everyone very anxious, all on top of each other, trying to make it to the front. It might be the first lap. It looks like the last lap out there for sure as they barrel down to turn 3.
Side by side, all the way back to about the 20th position now. They are lined up top, already pinching each other, and like you said, there's no points on the line. It's a win or lose situation right here. Give the lead to Byron Daly on lap number 1.
Pretty much neck and neck into turn 1. Byron Daly's doing a nice job there in the inside. Started second, had to be there to start, but then comes back here. He actually did lead that lap, so he'll get the first lap lead of the evening, but everyone else pretty much right behind him, pushing hard, and these guys are going to have to watch that as usual at a super speedway. You can't push for too long, and you have to watch those water and oil temps.
Yeah, the top line now is starting to get a little separation as the drivers start to watch that gauge, as you were saying, but they're going to come back strong off turn number 4 and try to reel up beside Byron as he's locked to David McKinney, or should I say David's locked to him on the backside.
These guys continue to race hard.
He's going to drop down the inside line right in front of Byron Daly there. Very, very tight move, but he's going to make it work down the inside line.
And now they're going to go 3 wide there. That's Austin Hartenfels in the 29. They're going to push the 12 of Chris Wright out. New number for him and also new sponsor for Chris Wright, but he's going to go to the back in a hurry there. Austin Hartenfels makes the move to second, and he might have the lead off turn 4.
Yeah, that was a bold move to stick it 3 wide this early in the race, only 3 laps in, and as it has a super speedway, Talladega is a little bit wider than this track. It allows for a little bit more play there. Daytona's a really narrow racetrack once you get on it and get side by side, especially 3 wide here. So it's definitely sketchy. As like I said, strategy's starting to play out now. You got some drivers that are lagging way back there, even close to 3 seconds behind Colin Bowman all the way back there, as other drivers are up in the draft. And Marco Polo, Austin Hatfield, they are side by side down to turn number 3.
already you can tell the intensity is hyped even at the beginning of the race. It's a 45-lap race, so technically if you get a caution here, you might have a chance to make it without making any pit stops whatsoever. We're just going to have to wait and see as this race progresses how these guys will tend to do with that. They usually pull off a pretty nice run here, but the big one is a possibility. Anytime you come to a super speedway, there is the possibility of that happening, and right now these guys on top of each other, there's really no room to give.
And the field rips by down the back straightaway. Speeds almost 195 miles an hour here at Daytona. And these guys right now, is a little bit of sideways. We got some smoke mid-pack. Is everybody going to save it? Drivers on the apron were sideways. A couple of drivers going around down there. But no caution. There's the caution.
24-39, and also saw another car go around. That's Johnson Stafford, Bradley Grant Davis, and David Ankeny, our pole sitter. Those three cars go around off turn 4 to bring off the first caution.
Yeah, I was just taking a look back there at the replay. David Ankeny actually started that. He just looked like he was in the draft and went to duck out for a little bit of air and kind of got caught down there, getting down in turn number 1, clipped the left side on the apron, and it just sent that car. He made an awesome save down there. It just stacked the bottom up and drivers checking up and created some carnage in the back.
Looks like Jason Thompson, Ellen Cryer, and a couple other guys also received some damage from that, and these guys already with some damage early on going to impede their progress, and all they're gonna have to do is bring it down pit road, hope the crews can fix it up. As long as that car is decent, you can hang in the draft, but definitely having damage to that car early on is not a good thing.
We're going to take this hot second here, pop off for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll take you back to the green flag here.
Hey, you are tuned in live on Checkered Flag Interactive. This is big here tonight.
Goes to the inside, down to the turn number 1, gives it a go.
Giving the push to Chris Overland, putting him back into the lead.
Gonna go side by side, it's gonna be door to door. Who gets it?
Oh my gosh! They died almost!
Yeah, this is going to be one of those races where you're just going to have to hold your breath the entire time.
Everybody up, Taraska in the number 4.
Contact Steam Flash
Carlisle, that's the big one.
So I was looking at the new Aurora, but then I was thinking, maybe I should get something that looks a little classy. But then I was like, no, I need something that can pull some serious weight. Maybe I don't need all that cargo space. What about the Legionnaire? Now we're talking. How about some bigger guns? Little bigger. No, little bigger. There you go. And maybe some rockets, too. Actually, I should probably upgrade the power plant. I did like the leather seats on that LX, though. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's see what this baby can do.
They waved it off.
And welcome back live here from Daytona International Super Speedway. It's Steve, Shane, and Chase up the booth here for the London Recreational Racing Sportsman Series, their pre-season shootout here, as we are under our first caution of the night. A couple of drivers got bottled up. mid-pack. That caused a lot of chaos down onto the apron to bring out that first caution of the night. Now that we have the first caution of the night out of the way, what do you think that kind of changes, if anything, in the mindset of these drivers?
It definitely changes a lot as far as for me. Kind of makes me see how the race is going to go. If it's going to go kind of caution like it every 10 or so laps there. So it kind of changes that mindset for me of, all right, I'm going to kind of lag back here and kind of hold on to the lead pack, but not necessarily try to go for the win early and just kind of ride. For other drivers, it might not change anything. Want to keep digging up front and said, hey, look, I was up front. I didn't get caught in the wreck in the back, so I'm going to keep trying to dig for the best.
And also, since these guys have had a little bit over a month's break here, and it's actually been a while, way back in Talladega, I believe it was in October, these guys were racing for the last racing activity they've seen at a super speedway in this league. So already, those first couple laps drafting together, two lanes completely formed together, that builds the confidence and gives these guys trust between each other, especially some of those new guys getting it up there and mixing it with the veterans and pros. So definitely we've seen that already, and I think these guys are probably going to do the same for the rest of the race.
Taking a look right now with the top 10, it's Roppolo down still in first. Hartenfels on the outside line here. Hoover, Clint Carr, Michael McLean, Andy Glazik, Ryan Dyson, Joseph Tice, Michael Araya, and then Byron Daly to round out the top 10 here as the pace car lights are off. So that means we are going back to green flag racing here. And we're just a matter of moments away to seeing how the second run of the race goes and if drivers calm down or, get a little more excited.
Yeah, by the looks of that first lap there, drivers are pretty antsy. Off-season was a long off-season for these drivers, and they're ready to go. They're ready to bite at the bit, and especially since it's not for points. They said, heck, it's all or nothing for me right here. So drivers are ready to go. They are fueled up, fired, and it's shaping up to be a pretty good show just in the first 5 laps there. They are coming off turn number 4 now. The Ford iRacing pace car is going to duck in this time by, and Mark is going to lead as Austin. Austin's going to take the lead, actually, I'm sorry, and Mark on the outside, Green back in the air.
Great start for the field there, Austin Hartenfels with a big push from his teammate Corey Hoover on the inside. RCA Racing already off to a great start with both those cars in the top 3, and they are quickly moving on the inside. Mark Roppolo has to drop all the way to the inside, and he gets a break there from Clint Carr as he lets him in there.
Drivers already quickly working to the bottom side, but you got a train on top. Here comes a 3-car as 3-car stride as the 27 car. That's Andy Glazik. He's leading the outside as now he's going to bring it up side by side with the leader.
Yeah, he's working strong there with some of the guys back there. They're really going on the outside. Also Byron Daly, Joseph Tice there as well. That outside lane, not very strong the first time around, but this time almost to the lead with Andy Glazik.
Andy Glazik restarted 6th on there. He's already to the lead on the outside. Gonna look to duck down. No, he's gonna stick up there. This pusher, that's Ryan Dyson. That's your league owner. He's pushing on the outside.
And with that makes RCA Racing 1 through 4. They've got 2 cars outside, 2 cars inside trying to take control of this race. Big one behind him.
Chris Wright hard into the inside wall. Excuse me, that's Chad Coleman. Michael McLean goes around. Hard contact there with Finlayson.
Yeah, we'll have to get a replay on that, but might have seen someone possibly get turned there in the middle of the straightaway.
Yeah, I'm looking back on it. That's the 78 Joe Lawrence. Looks like he may have tried to feed it right there 3 wide or duck out for a little bit of air and just got a little bit of bumper hook there and it sent the car right in front of him. to an absolute spin, and he couldn't do nothing about it. I don't know. Looks kind of like he didn't mean to do it. It just kind of happened, and it's an unfortunate break for these drivers early in this one. 11 laps in, and damage here is key. So it's an unfortunate, tough break for everyone. But I could say we might have got the big one out of the way here early.
Yeah, it definitely looked actually a little bit worse than it could have been, but nonetheless, I think we're going to see about 4 or 5 cars involved in that one. Michael McLean was pretty much right around in front of the entire field at 190 plus miles an hour, and somehow only got hit by 1 or 2 cars. That could have been the rest of the field, but luckily most of those guys get through safely, so that'll quickly be our second caution here, and already this race very racy, but also seeing some cautions.
Yeah, 11 laps in, 2 cautions with 30 laps left. Like I said, I would kind of hang back, kind of like the J.D. Laird was doing, and they had a Colin Bowman. They had about a 4-car little train back there, holding back, waiting for wrecks like that, and they just drove on by. So I kind of liking the strategy of J.D. Laird and Colin Bowman holding back and trying to go at the end.
Yeah, it's definitely been helping those guys out, but what they have to realize is they pretty much have to pick a time in this race where they have to go to the front, because that's going to be their last chance. Those guys are already up there. They survived the wrecks. They're pretty much in the position to win. The guys who stay in the back, well, they have to make their way through the field if they're going to want to be with those guys for the win. So eventually we'll see that happen, but for now, with over 30 laps to go still pretty early.
One driver who really impressed me that run right there is your leader, Andy Glassick. He got out from 6 and hooked up with Ryan Dyson there, the number 28 car, who's now up into 2nd. They hooked up and just drove to the front, an absolute power move, and made a statement, say, hey, look, just because I was back there, don't count me out. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock. And drove all the way up to the lead, got down, and now that the caution came out, they have a chance to regroup and try to hook back up here when they go back to green.
And with all these caution laps continuing to accumulate early on in this race, you have to think that these guys are not going to give up that track position. They're not going to come down pit road for probably the rest of this race here. They can save enough fuel under caution. They will stay out the entire time here from start to finish, keep that track position. We'll just have to wait and see if they've gotten enough caution laps so far to do that.
Yeah, definitely when caution's out, I've got to drop down into 4th gear and trying to ride. I feel like 40 laps are going to be able to make it, as we hear Andy Glassick now shut the motor off under caution, trying to save every bit of fuel he can. I think they'll be able to make it. I think it's going to be close, but if you can save under these cautions, I feel like you're definitely going to be able to make these 40 laps.
And also keep in mind there are some cars in the back half of the field have made pit stops. Most of them that did make pit stops was for crash damage. Really doesn't matter the significance. They have enough fuel to make it to the end, which could be key. We go green to the end here, but it's just some side thought to think for later on.
Right now we are catching up with driver of the number 12, Chris Wright. Chris, it's Steve up in the booth. Do you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, we're getting set and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. That number 12 machine's been hanging back a little bit here. Haven't progressed any higher than 19th so far. What's the strategy down on the track after starting up towards the top 5?
Well, I tried to stay up there as long as I could, and I got hung out on the top, and now I'm just trying to survive and wait until some of these guys wreck out, and hopefully be there at the end.
Well, we see you got yourself a new number for the season, the number 12. Talk about the team for the season, the number change, and the sponsors, the paint scheme. Tell us all about what your hopes are for the new season.
Well, it was a great season last year, and I can't thank Sky Motorsports enough for bringing me aboard. And this year they made the switch to Toyotas, so I started my own team, got some good teammates, got some new sponsors with Pepsi and Mountain Dew, and brought some new guys in here. And hopefully this season goes better than last year. Only had 1 win last year. Hopefully the team takes off good, and just see what happens.
All right, Chris. Well, we're going to wish you the best of luck here on this restart. There's still plenty of action, plenty of laps on the board, so going to be a very interesting race, to say the least. Best of luck.
All right, thanks, guys, and hopefully it's a good show for you.
back up to you guys.
And as the pace car lights are off here, we're going to get ready for the green flag. When we go back to green flag, it'll be exactly 30 laps to go. So we'll be a third through this race already. We've seen some green flag racing. We've seen some cautions. Really, we're going to come down to it here as these guys will continue.
Yeah, this race is shaping out. Already 15 laps in, and 15 laps in at any other track doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's the shootout and there's only 40 laps, drivers are already looking down at the lap counter going, dude, I need to get up on the throttle. There's only 25 laps left, so drivers might be getting antsy. You heard Chris Wright, you heard his strategy, as other drivers are ready to go bite at the bit and get to the front. Now we're going to see this start. We got Andy Glassick. He actually chose the outside on this restart, as Ryan Dyson down there on the bottom might have a little bit of a teammate strategy there. Andy's going to try to get the jump and get down in front of Ryan. I'm not really sure. I don't know the team, the whole teams here, so I don't know who's on what team, but I do know that that's a good call right there for them to get back together.
Yeah, it definitely is, Chase. You have Andy Glazick outside, and then the first three cars in the inside row, all teammates to Andy for RCA Racing, so definitely need to get down there. They might be able to take control of the race, but I know what takes control of the race now, and that's the green flag, because we're back to racing.
Yeah, drivers on the bottom side, the 29, Austin Hartsfeld is going to already lock up to the bumper of Ryan Dyson. That didn't allow Andy to get down. So now Ryan Dyson put him to the point. He's your new leader on the bottom side.
Here comes that outside lane once again, though. Byron Daly pushing hard for Andy Glazick. It's pretty interesting to see already. The inside and outside lane very formatted, even directly after the restart. And all these guys pushing hard.
And here comes the outside now. Andy's going to duck down to the inside and leave Byron Daly high and dry with only the number 5 of Joseph Deese to stick to his back bumper. And now they try to come to the front off turn number 4.
And just behind Joseph, that's the 19 car, Jacob Adams, one of the rookies for this season this year in that Gatorade Chevrolet Camaro. He's made his way toward the front using that outside lane. Also, looks like Bronson Stafford, he's made his way up towards the front as well after being involved in an earlier caution. Still got some damage on that car, but nonetheless moving forward in the trap. So some of these guys already making their way back toward the front.
Yeah, that inside lane now looks to have the advantage, but don't count him out. Byron Daly's got a strong race car, and he's going to try to get help from the number 5 as they're starting to create a line. The number 19, 39, and 20, all 02 are now all lined up on the top side.
Yeah, they're gonna have a strong opponent on the inside though. RCA Racing, the first 4 cars in the inside lane. They've got more cars in the inside lane than any other team combined. They're definitely taking control of it there, but Byron Daly, he's one of those guys up there up top. He has a fast race car, he led the first laps, and he's really been up toward the front the entire race. He's going to be someone to watch, and also Joseph Tice, always experienced in super speedway racing. He's pushing him to the lead, and would clear him here down the back straightaway.
Yeah, they're trying everything they can, trying to get the side draft, and now Byron Daly's going to get cleared. He is going to look to dart to the bottom. No, it's not going to happen. He's going to stick up top with the number 5. That's 27 of Andy Glassick trying to counter back on the inside. They're side by side, nose to nose off turn number 4.
And we're going to hop on board with Austin Hartenfels there, that third row down on the inside line. You can see how tight the action is here. With still 27 laps to go, that outside line is not afraid with Byron Daly out in front to pinch down there, get that side draft, make it work. I mean, not even a quarter of a car between these guys out there.
And it's really going to be a chess match between the inside and outside lane. You've got the car that's leading that pack and has the momentum, but you also have the pusher behind, and they're constantly, as I mentioned before, watching those oil and water temps, trying not to overheat, and if they do, they're going to have to back off. So you can only push for so long, and you're trying to get someone in the lead, trying to get them clear of the inside or outside lane. Definitely have to watch that there. That's why you see these guys kind of shuffling around.
Yeah, the 19 car, like you said, was looking out wide. It looked like he was kind of trying to make it 3 wide, but maybe he was just trying to get some air to the nose just in case he's got to lock to the bumper and start pushing. But the whole front pack all the way back to the 14th position are all side by side. And then you got another 2-car pack That's Raleigh Davis and Brandy Burke. They're trying to catch up back to them, about 1.2 seconds back to your lead group now.
And they're using the old style two-car tandem to try and make it there, and it looks like they will here in about a lap or two. And actually, right here, as Joseph Tice gets put 3 wide through the middle, he's going to the back, and actually he's going to pull up in front of Jacob Adams there. The whole outside line checks up.
Yeah, now the 19's going to get caught out in what we call the sucker hole. He's up top with no drafting help. That could have been bad right there. The 5 tried to move up and block the run, and thanks to that 19 car of Jacob Adams, he definitely let out, and that could have been really bad, but they're all going to get checked up and retain the positions as the number 5. Now Joseph Dice is going to duck down to the bottom and leave the top to the 19.
And what happened really right there was Byron Daly, he pulled out to the inside lane, left the outside to dry, and then no one pushed Joseph Tice, so everyone backed up. But look at Austin Hartenfels. He jumps up to the outside, possibly to get some help, but he's just going to go backwards.
Now he is now getting help from his teammate. Now they are lined up 2 by 2, and they're getting ready to get help as the number 27 of Andy Glass is going to jump to the top. And another one. Now you've got 5, 6, 7 cars up on the top side.
That is RCA Racing completely abandoning Byron Daly in the inside lane. Pretty much moved up methodically 1 by 1, and now they have controlled the outside lane. They're going to try and mortar right by the inside lane. But look, Joseph Tice is there in second, but now Andy Glazik tried to make a move to the inside, not clear, 3 wide and 3.
3 wide, entering Andy Glazik in the middle. He's gonna get caught in the sucker hole now, as the number 5 is back to the bumper of Byron Daly. Joseph Tice and Byron Daly have hooked up well here tonight, as Byron's gonna jump up to block the run in the middle.
This is going to be very interesting. 3 wide racing, going to have three guys leading up front and then pushers behind them, and it's going to get really tight here. It's already been tight tonight with the inside and outside lane, but now you have a middle lane that's trying to work. But look at the run Byron Daly's getting. Only 2 cars in that lane, and now you're starting to see some guys drop behind him trying to get some help. This is incredible racing. 23 laps.
Already halfway in, 23 laps down, and only a few left. Byron Daly's going to get the run down the backstretch. He's got Andy Glazik to the backside of him. They're working the top. On the bottom side, that's Joseph Dice, and now they are trying to get help from the backside, but it looks to be that outside tonight that has really got the momentum rolling here.
It's actually just complete lap 23. Byron Daly, he goes up in front of the RCA Racing teammates to retake that lead, and also the run on the outside. But look at Joseph Tice on the inside. He's got some help from Mark Roppolo and also Trevor Roppolo as well.
Side by side, it's paper thin, and I know from strategy that these guys that are locked down to the bottom are just waiting for the opportunity to jump to the top. At least I would. As now Byron Daly's going to get abandoned on the top side. Andy Glazik is going to jump to the bottom in front of Joseph Dice, and now Byron Daly's got to look for help from the RCA teammates.
This is already some of the best racing I've seen at Daytona in a while. 2 3 wide racing. Now Jacob Adams going to try and form an outside groove. Shane Terrian back there as well. We could be 3 wide for the lead once again here soon, as they're still neck and neck in the turn 1.
Hopping on the front of Jacob Adams' car. Now let's hop on the gyro cam here. Take a look at the banking at this place as he's up on that outside line behind the RCA train. Right now they're starting to get that run once again. Heading off into the corner here. Just think of it. The tallest, steepest roof that you know, that's basically what turns 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 are here. And then coming across through the tri-oval, that's pretty much just your average slope of a roof. But going through 3 and 4, those things, and 1 and 2, of course, very, very steep banking, and then Talladega even more so. So these guys out here putting up with the G-forces as well.
They definitely are, Steve, as they head on into turn number 1. Andy Glazik, your leader, Joseph Tice on the inside in second, and then after that, Byron Daly's fighting for third with Mark Roppolo. That outside lane, they've gotten a little bit discombobulated, but they're trying to come back.
Yeah, Byron Daly's looking to say, hey, look, this is my top side groove. I'm going to hold it all night long. He's been up there for the majority of this race, as now they are catching a lap car. What are they going to do coming to the lap car? Oh, he's going to duck down to the apron just in time, get loose, almost lose it in front of your lead pack, as that's going to separate the bottom side, and now Byron Daly to get the run on the outside and now lead lap number 27.
Yeah, that would have been disastrous. That was the 78 of Joe Lawrence. If he would have overcorrected into the field, well, I don't really know what would have happened there, but he keeps it off of them, and we stay green nonetheless. And Byron Daly, Andy Glazik, the classic battle for the lead, still up front.
Yeah, everybody is locked to the bumper of the other, trying to get their groove. Going the best is now the upside. You've got three drivers locked to each other. The 33 of Corey Hoover is locked to the backside, and he's locked to the backside of Byron Daly. So now three cars are on the top rail and trying to get the lead.
We are now inside 20 laps to go, and that means the pressure and the heat, they're picking up. It's warming up. This pack pretty much dwindled down to 14 cars now. Some of these guys have lost the draft. And once again, going to have a slow car on the inside. Should get by him no problem. And Byron Daly looks like he has the lead for the time being.
You said 28 laps down coming. Now 13 to go. They are getting ready to come down to that 10 to go mark, and that's go time in my head for these drivers that are hanging on the backside of this lead group. As the bottom's going to get a checkup, that's going to allow the top side. And here comes Byron Daly. He's now got clear for 27. Will he get down? No, it's not going to stick in 3 and 4.
And what we're seeing so far is the outside, inside lane, really no activity. Everyone's staying in line. It's just who can push better that is getting a lap left. One lap it's Byron Daly, the next it's Andy Glazik. So they're pretty much dead even there, almost a tie. So Andy Glazik leads that lap, but something has to happen. And just as I say that, Jacob Adams jumps up to the top. Here comes Shane Terrian once again. That's actually Bronson Stafford, the 39 Monster Energy car. And they're going to be 3 wide.
3 wide off turn number 2. You've got Jacob Adams leading the third groove. They've got a strong run coming down the backstretch, almost pulling up side by side with the leaders. Now 3 wide for the lead.
Joseph ties contact with Ryan Dyson. No harm, no foul, but Ryan Dyson in the middle. Very loose conditions there. You got air from the outside and inside lane interacting with your car. That could spell disaster. We're still 3 wide here at Daytona. Jacob Adams, the rookie, looking to lead a lap.
Jacob Adams on the top side. He's got help. He's all the way up there. He's drove from the back. Now side by side, he's going to lead lap number 29 with now just 10 laps to go here at Daytona International Speedway.
Absolutely incredible. Now you're seeing the middle groove kind of back up. There's only 3 cars, but because of the side draft, they're pulling for both the inside and outside lane. Byron Daly has the momentum and is keeping his car up toward the front. He's going to drop a little bit back here, and Jacob Adams with the lead already showing very much impressiveness. Remember, last year rookie Jeff Ramsdell won this race, so definitely rookies run well in this race.
One driver we haven't talked about tonight, Bronson Stafford. He's locked to the back bumper of your 19 of Jacob Adams. He's the one who's giving him the push, and the 02 of Jamie Haley, they're up there as well. So it looks to be Bronson Stafford's a really strong pusher. Now Andy Glazik's going to get the lead on that lap on the bottom side.
Already props to these guys for keeping it 3 wide. Now 3 consecutive laps. They continue to battle hard. Daytona's not known for this. You don't really see 3 wide throughout the entire race. You're seeing it now, and it's only going to hype up as the laps tick down. And here comes Byron Daly, Ryan Dyson, even stronger push down the back straightaway, and Byron back to lead.
Yeah, Bronson got a little hot, had to check up off the back bumper of Jacob Adams. Now Jacob Adams losing 5, 6, 7, now 8 or 6 positions as he's going to drop to the backside of 4 cars now. He's 5th in line on the outside.
And we got another car coming to the front. 23 J.D. Laird started 29th out of 31 cars that took the green tonight. Now he's going to the outside 3 wide with no help. He's trying to do it himself in the Camaro there, but he's going to drop back.
Yeah, Jacob Adams looked to go up there with him. We're going to see if he gets up there with him going down the backstretch. Not going to look like it's going to work. J.D. Laird caught in the sucker hole. He was trying to make something work here with only a few laps to go. He's going to drop in behind Jacob Adams, but it's all up front. Once again, Andy Glazik and Byron Daly. They've been battling all night. The number 5 of Joseph Thies, he's been on the backside of Andy Glazik for now maybe 10 laps. It's now 3 wide action through the tri-oval.
J.D. Laird, the Aquatech blasting Chevy, but nonetheless, 3 wide, as you said, Chase. Now Ryan Dyson, he might have gotten a little bit of hot there, had to back out, get some air to that car, but unfortunately, drop back, and in fact, could find himself in the tail end here, because he's got no one to help.
Byron Daly's now going to get help on the backside of him. That's the Clint Carr. That's your red Clint Carr right there. He's helping up to the backside. Now they're going to try to pull up side by side once again, like we've seen all night. Byron Daly now trying to take the lead off turn number 4.
And Clint Carr is also a new driver to the series this year in the 99 car. He's already making a statement here up into the top 4. So both these guys that are rookies this year, Clint Carr, Jacob Adams, success early on, but can they finish the deal against some of these big-time veterans?
Yeah, 7 to go. Now 6 to go is the limit. If the caution comes out after any point and 6 to go, the race is over. So these drivers know that, and if they've been on the service long enough, they know after 6 to go, if the caution comes out, it's over. So they're trying to push at the gut to get up as soon as they can get, as now they're catching some lap cars. That's 3 cars now. What's going to happen off turn number 4?
We're going to have to see if they move up, and if they don't, the entire pack's going to have to move, and it looks like they're not going to move those lap cars. So the pack will have to make evasive maneuvers on the outside. They go back to 2 wide. Now they're going to get some side drive off those lap cars. This is going to propel them, break up the field a little bit. Andy Blazek's going to pull away with 3 cars.
Yeah, 6 to go now. These lap cars are stuck on the inside. This is going to create a big hole right here for the 44. What's going to happen? He's going to have to... The lap cars are now going to fall into line with your lead lap cars, and it's going to create some adversity coming down here to these last dying laps.
Yeah, definitely going to create some adversity. Look at this. They're going to leave Andy Glazek out to dry. Joseph Ties to the outside. Mark Roppolo, Trevor Roppolo, the brothers working on the outside. Clint Carr pulls up. Jacob Adams. They're quickly formatting an outside line, and Andy Glazek's dropping back.
And here comes Colin Bowden for the first time, and I do believe the entire race. The number 89 WeatherTech machine. Now Roppolo to the bottom. All the Roppolos. Contact there. Sideways we go. Trevor Roppolo through the grass. The number 4 goes around as well. Caution out with 10 to go.
Yeah, I'm mistaken. I thought this race was only 40 laps. It's actually 45, so I've been calling the wrong laps to go this whole night. I apologize for that one, but Joseph Dice is going to take over the lead here, and that just was a product of lap cars coming in to play with these lead lap cars, and it created a hole, and some drivers thinking they were clear when they're not, and that looked like Clint Carr just came down on Andy Classic and got him sideways, and the 9 car lost it in front of him. It was kind of a product of these lap cars kind of coming into play with your lead lap cars.
Yeah, definitely. That looks to be pretty much a 2-car wreck there. Spin to the inside, just out of the tri-oval. So we're probably going to see probably 6 to go or something like that. Could be 5 to go when we go back to green flag racing, and that's definitely going to mean a lot here that most of the field got shuffled up when they went by those lap cars. So already, these guys, they're going to be, probably working with some guys they haven't all race. So this could get interesting.
Let's take this moment right here, take our final commercial break of the night. When we come back, we'll take you through the running order, and we'll take you through everything we need to watch for here, because it's going to be a shootout in the shootout to the finish. Don't go away.
Hey, you are tuned in live on Checkered Flag Interactive. This is big here tonight.
Goes to the inside, down to the turn number 1, gives it a go.
Giving the push to Chris Overland, putting him back into the lead.
Gonna go side by side, it's gonna be door to door. Who gets it?
Oh my gosh! They died almost!
Yeah, this is going to be one of those races where you're just going to have to hold your breath the entire time.
Everybody up, Taraska and the number 4.
Contact!
It's the big one.
looking at the new Aurora, but then I was thinking, maybe I should get something that looks a little classy. But then I was like, no, I need something that can pull some serious weight. Maybe I don't need all that cargo space. What about the Legionnaire? Now we're talking. How about some bigger guns? Little bigger. No, little bigger. There you go. And maybe some rockets, too. Actually, I should probably upgrade the power plant. I did like the leather seats on that LX, though. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's see what this baby can do. Bigger cargo.
RSI's Aurora. There are many like it, but this one is yours.
You are tuned in live on Checkered Flag Interactive. This is big here tonight.
Goes to the inside, down to the turn number one, gives it a go.
Giving the push to Chris Overland, putting him back.
Welcome back here. We are getting set and ready as the pace car lights should be going off. Here they are. Yes, they are. Here we are 1 to green here for what will be the final restart, most likely, of this race. Joseph Tice is our current leader, followed by Roppolo. JD Laird's up there in the top 5. The majority of the field brought it down pit road after having to make that pit stop. We were right on the line when it comes to saving fuel, so for those drivers that were cutting the engines under those cautions earlier, they might just be able to make it to the end here. A lot's on the line, though, but at the same time, nothing's on the line. So for these drivers like Joseph Tice, Mark Roppolo, they're up in front, teammates there. The loss of Trevor Roppolo from that last caution definitely does not hold them back very much, because 3 is too many to tango.
Absolutely, Steve, and when you talk about last season's shootout, it ended under caution after we saw some guys pretty much two-car tangoing to turn 3, get together side by side, no room given. And tonight we've seen the same thing. Really, it's only the pack racing, but there really has been no room given for the entire race. Maybe a little bit there with the 3 wide, but still from the drop of the green flag, everyone's been on top of each other, pushing hard, pretty much taking more than giving, and you would expect that out of an points race, but nonetheless, we've seen incredible racing. We're about to see it.
Yeah, it's trickling down. There's only going to be 5 laps to go as the Ford iRacing pace car is going to take them off turn number 4, and it's going to be going for the final time. Joseph Tice is going to lead outside Mark Rapallo, and now the Ford iRacing pace car is going to duck in. Green flag here at Daytona International Speedway. 5 laps remain.
Great start for Joseph Tice in the inside lane, but Mark Roppel is trying to fight back on the outside. Michael LeRae has made an appearance to the front. He's the second car on the outside lane, and also J.D. Laird from the 29th starting spot. Talked about it earlier. He's up at fourth as they're side by side in turn 2.
Yeah, one of your drivers who get down pit road, the number 93, Byron Daly, now trying to make a move with brand new fresh tires. Doesn't really need much here on iRacing, but and especially at a super speedway, but it could possibly potentially be what he needed, as he's now going to try to log to the back bumper, and they're battling right there for about 5th and 6th place, and going to try to make a move to the front.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back, big wreck in the back, and that might end the race. We're going to have to see race back to the line. Joseph Tice is the leader on lap 42.
Joseph Tice looks to be the winner of this one, as it's going to end under caution. In an unfortunate way for this thing to end. It was such great racing on lap 42. They're going to have trouble in the back. We're going to take a look back here and see what exactly broke out in the back.
Where it all started, guys, is Austin Hartenfels gets put up into the outside wall. He loses all of his momentum there. The number 12 of Chris Wright tries to sneak on by, and then hard into the outside wall for the 51 of Bradley Berg, and then the 29 of Hartenfels. Completely both machines getting ripped into that outside wall.
That was a tough break for Austin Hartenfels. He got hit in the wall once, and he got hit again, and even in bigger fashion, 2 wheels off the ground. Definitely not the way he wanted to end tonight's race. But how about that race back to the line? Joseph Tice had the lead at the time of caution. There were a bunch of guys side by side that had their position determined by literally inches.
Yeah, but nonetheless, a great victory for Joseph Tice to start the season off right. The number 5 is going to bring it home. He qualified in the 24th position, practiced in the 9th position, but none of that matters, as he's going to walk home today a winner here at Daytona International Raceway.
And I definitely don't foresee the pace car lights coming off this time by. We'll get a ring-in with one of the drivers down there, Corey Hoover, who was working with Austin Hartenfels. Corey trapped outside, I do believe, the top 10. Can you confirm if we are going green or not? Corey, it's Steve up here. You got me? Appears we scared him away, so we'll try to get a ring in with Chris Wright, one of the drivers involved with that last wreck there. Chris, take us through what happened from your point of view. Alright guys, a whole lot of silence for Steve.
Yeah, Chris might be still getting checked out in the infield care center, so might be a little shaken up after that hit into the outside wall. Maybe going to try to get a ring in with another driver. Steve, who you got down there?
Well, I'll turn it over to Shane with to see if he can get a ring in with Ryan Dyson.
Yeah, here with Ryan Dyson, and Ryan, we just have a question real quick. Are we going back to green, or is this race done?
I do believe this is it. I believe we're done.
Alright, and with that, before that final caution in the race, some of your guys in RCA Racing decided to duck down pit road. What was the story behind that, and you know, how'd that end up affecting your race?
I wanted to stay out, and a couple of them said, no, we should pit, and Andy stayed out, and I wish I would have stayed out, but that's why we got a preseason race, so that I know not to do that next Thursday night for the season opener.
Definitely. And how about the racing tonight? Some of the best I think we've seen at Daytona in a while. We were 3 wide for over 3 laps at one point. Guys going back and forth. Really, you could put the car anywhere you wanted it. Talk about the racing in general as a lead owner.
Yeah, it was a really fun race. Lots of 3 wide. I got stuck in the middle 3 wide for a while. I was trying to push Byron, but I think he knew if the 27 and I got connected, we'd work together, so he refused to pull down, so I ended up getting too hot and had to put it out to the outside and just drop to the back, and I guess that's pretty much what cost me a chance at the win in the end. So smart play there by Byron, and just too bad it didn't work out in RCA's favor tonight.
Alright, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs for your team and also for the league here, new for this season?
Yeah, big thanks to Archway Studios, big up-and-coming company. They're on board for the pole sponsor for the series and sponsor on this car, so glad to have them. Thanks for London Rec for stepping up as the title sponsor of the series and also a sponsor for myself. APC Auto Parts on board this season, and lots of other partners, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting. It's going to be a hell of a season.
Alright, we look forward to it, Ryan. Thanks for talking to us.
Well, this will pretty much be the finishing order, assuming nothing catastrophic happens to anybody out there. So guys, I mean, we watched tonight's race and we saw quite a bit of three-wide action, more than what I would have expected. How do you think this sets us up for next week?
I think it's gonna kind of, like I said, it's gonna play into some drivers' heads to know what they got to do for next week to get the job done, and like we just spoke to him, and he said that he knows, you know, that's a bad call to pit there late at the end, and just mental notes, little things you can kind of jot down and say, all right, do this, don't do this, and then do this for next week's race. So a lot of these drivers learned a lot tonight getting ready for next week's race, and we definitely seen that it's going to be a fun one to watch, and not only watch, to call the action.
And definitely with these guys getting these 45 laps under the belt tonight, you know, when they go for real next week for the season opener, and that's going to be a big race, obviously. And you know, anytime you go from 45 laps to a full 100-lap race next week with points, it's all going to be about using your strategy, as Chase said earlier, but it's going to be for points and for a longer race. So these guys, they learned a lot tonight that they can apply to next week, and based on the racing, it's going to be a pretty awesome race next week.
Yeah, so and I said earlier that I like the strategy back there, JD Laird, and then he winds up running second here tonight. So maybe me and JD had the same mindset there, and I was only watching the race. So hats off to him. A good drive from the back. Awesome drive for the number 5 car, Joseph Dice. He's gonna just easily pace his way down through the tri-oval into the win here in the shootout.
And he will come across the finish line to open up the 2016 London Recreational Racing Sportsman Series while winning the shootout here tonight. And Chase, he also started pretty deep in the field, 24th for Joseph Tyson. Looks like 3 out of the top 5 drivers started outside the top 10 and finished in the top 5 tonight. So that proves definitely that that strategy is staying in the back. As Joseph Tyson is your winner tonight, definitely some pretty impressive racing by him. We'll see if we can get a ring in with a couple guys here.
Yeah, I've caught up here with Michael Finlayson. Michael, not necessarily the finish that you wanted here after an interesting race to say the least, but take us through what you learned here tonight going into next week. Michael and Steve up in the booth. Just want to wonder here, tonight was an interesting night for you, your team, of course. But what do you pick up from tonight's race here in the shootout that you need to apply to next week's race?
Well, I've learned definitely a lot tonight. It was a good race. I mean, 15th place isn't bad, but definitely had a faster car. I mean, I was involved in a few of those cautions and could have been, but it was a good race overall. I mean, I made some bad pit strategy and stuff like that. I pit a few times when I didn't need to and stuff like that, but I think it was overall a great race, and got to thank my teammates for helping me out tonight. We had some pretty fast cars, and it was pretty cool running up there with them, and can't wait for the up.
All right, well, before we get off to our next people to talk to here, you know, with the season starting fresh, with the chase and the new elimination style, what do you think your team has for the season this time around?
I think we could definitely compete. I mean, with this new elimination format, anything could happen. I mean, you win a race and you're into the chase, you have a chance at the championship. It's pretty cool, but I'm hoping to get some wins this season. I've never won an UpperEdge points race. Last time I did it was back on Xbox, but I would love to win in this league. I mean, I've been trying so hard the last few years, and my teammates definitely have the same shot as me. I mean, Chris, Jamie, and Jacob, they're really good drivers, and I think we're a great team this year. I just got to thank Fastenal and Top Motorsports for hopping on board again this year. They're great sponsors, and big thanks to them.
All right, I'm going to throw it over to you, Shane, catching up with another driver, one of the drivers that made the most moves throughout the race, JD Laird.
Yeah, JD, you started 29th tonight, basically the back half of the field, but you bring it home second. Kind of take us through your race and how you were able to pull it off.
My goal was just to have fun this race, and I knew that the tires were going to wear out a little bit. I didn't expect them to wear out as much as they did. So the first half of the race was just kind of chillaxing, stay with the lead pack, avoid all the big junk that was going to happen, and just pick and choose when I was going to make my moves, who I was going to make my moves with, and have Lady Luck on my side. Just came up one spot short.
Yeah, definitely gave a great run at it nonetheless. Talk about the racing tonight. We had some awesome racing, 3 wide for pretty much most of the night at some points in the night, but basically double file, these guys all on top of each other. Looked fun from the booth, but how was it for you guys out there driving?
It was heck for me, because there was a point like, am I even going to have a shot to win this race? Because everybody was stacked on top of each other, having to lift off the throttle, crank a lot of wheel into it, because the tires started wearing off and you're losing front grip. So it really sucked for me trying to figure out, can I even make a move, even though I can? And then when to the beginning of the race, 2-3 wide, all on top of each other, it got pretty hectic. But I'm really looking forward to next week, because I have a feeling it's going to be one heck of a show to watch.
Yeah, we definitely feel the same. Next week's going to be a very impressive race, to say the least. But before we let you go, any sponsors or shout-outs? And you got plenty of cars planned to run throughout the season.
I got way too many sponsors. Anderson Surfboards and Aquatech Glassing, Duke Metal Designs, Langford Farms curated by Brad, King of Chins, SecPay, Enlighten. Oh god, I'm probably forgetting way too many. Epic Fitwear. And then shout out to Alan, Chad, and Byron, who decided to stick with me this year and give it a 4-car effort for JDR Motorsports, and looking to steal the title away from those guys.
Alright, definitely JD. We'll watching the rest of the guys all season. Thanks for talking to us.
Appreciate it.
And now, Chase, I do believe you've caught up with driver of the number 39, Bronson Staff.
Yeah, I do, Bronson. You made a late race charge there on the high side with Jacob Adams, making it 3 wide and making a show out of it. Take us through the race there.
Well, Q didn't go exactly as planned. That's kind of a unique spot. 20th is kind of hard to pass with super speedways, but started there, got into the top 10, and just kind of rode around 2 wide. There's a lot of movement all race long. I don't know if it's like people figuring out who they want to beat with, or trying to let people in and out, but there's a lot of movement, and there's a lot of times where you thought there was going to be a wreck, but luckily there wasn't. The first wreck I actually got involved in, somehow escaped damage though. Second wreck, right in the middle of it again, so just kind of got lucky all night long, hooked up with Jacob, got to the front, and after riding behind someone 15 laps, it's hard to keep pushing them when you're already kind of hot, so had to bail on that. Kind of sucks, under caution, because me, Corey, and Ryan Dyson, we got together on the top side, and I feel like we definitely probably could have got closer to the front, but it is what it is. Restrictor plates, it's unpredictable, so cautions come at the worst or best times depending on what spot you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely made a charge and made a show out of it. Go ahead and give any shout out and sponsors that you got going for you.
Well, pretty much most of the same things as last year. I still got Home Depot on board. They're actually the primary. More like a split schedule between that and now Monster Energy, which I took over from my teammate Shane, so that's cool for them. Navy backing, we got Verizon on there. This season we actually got going a little bit more with that. Justin Munsell Designs, he does a lot of our cars, and so I have my good friend Matt Muir, he paints up a lot of our cars, and just everyone back at the team. Tom had internet problems, sadly, so he couldn't make the race. Shane had something going on, but I'm pretty sure everyone's here next week and looking good. Munsell wasn't able to race, so we ended up losing teammates last season, but still huge shout out to them. They're still a big help, still good friends. Chris Wright and Jamie Haley and Michael Fenless and all those guys. So just a huge thanks for everyone that helps run everything and keep it together.
Yeah, absolutely. We look forward to seeing you next week, and good luck to you.
And now I have caught up with Mr. Corey Huber, last year's champion here. Corey, you didn't quite get there here tonight, but I tell you what, you probably learned a few things going into next week. Daytona, under the lights here this week. We're under the sunlight in Daytona next week. What do you need to do in order to get a solid finish or maybe even make it to victory lane?
Yeah, it's glad to be back. First of all, Happy New Year to you guys. Glad to see you guys return to broadcasting. I did learn a little bit tonight. There was lots of three-wide racing, actually. Once the server kind of got calmed down, once of the lagging issue got resolved, it was actually really fun, and I'm not really one to enjoy plate racing. No, you could really stay even, top and bottom line. That kind of, no one really pulled. The top pulled off of the turn 2 and 4, but other than that, they kind of stayed even. You just kind of had to time your runs perfectly.
Well, with, so many new things coming this season, a few new drivers, competition's going to be definitely very rampant this season. What is RCA Racing doing on their standpoint to, step things up this season to make sure they stay with all the other improving competition out there?
Yeah, we have the same driver lineup. We're just doing a lot more testing, working on a couple of things like long runs and consistency, and not getting into any big trouble like we kind of plagued us last year for some teams. But yeah, competition's really stepped up this year. I think there's going to be a lot more bigger car counts in the field, especially with super speedways. That can be a bit hectic, but I'm really looking forward to it. We got a good team this year.
All right, Corey. Well, thanks for coming up here to talk to us. It's time to sign off for the night, but congrats on, making it through the night. There's some drivers, unfortunately, that were unable to, and that on its own adds a little momentum to next week.
All right, guys, take care.
I believe, Steve, we actually have caught up with the winner tonight here. Joseph Ties is down in victory lane, so we'll get him in here real quick. And Joseph, you come home here with the win tonight. Kind of take us through your race.
Yeah, that was a really fun race. Had a heck of a battle there before that last caution come out. It was me and Glazik and most of RCR. I had my teammates behind me, Mark and Trevor. It was a really fun race. The last caution was definitely, do you take tires or not? And I just decided, well, I hope a caution comes out and I'll just hang here. And luckily, that's the way it ended out.
Coming into the race tonight here, you started 24th. Kind of talk through how you got through the field and up to the lead. We saw definitely a lot of racing, 3 wide for most of the night. Talk about the challenges of navigating your way through there.
Yeah, that was it was definitely interesting starting in the back. I picked off a few at the very beginning, and then I believe we had a caution and had some split strategy on whether to pit or not to pit, and they're early on in the race, and so some people decided to pit and I decided to stay out, and I think that got me up to about the top 10, and I think from there on out I pretty well stayed up there most of the rest of the race.
All right, and definitely coming to Daytona here, winning, points race or not, is a big deal. Talk about how you feel at winning at a track like Daytona.
Yeah, well, I mean, for stock cars, there is no greater than Daytona. It's, hallowed ground. So I definitely my first plate race win, and to have it here at Daytona, it sure is special.
All right, before we let you go tonight, kind of take us through any sponsors or shout-outs. Who gets that car to the racetrack each week?
Yeah, I finally get to do this. I got to thank AMD, my sponsor, TechCrunch, who's a really good online technical blog. I got to thank my team, Rapolo Brothers Racing. They're super awesome, always a fun group of guys. Mark and Trevor, they're always fun to race with, and they bring some really good stuff to the track, as I think we proved tonight. We ran top 3 there for a while before that last caution kind of bit us, but I was hoping Mark would finish second. We could get a 1-2, but yeah, definitely. And thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and of course Ryan Dyson for putting on the league and all the work that he puts into it.
All right, that's Joseph Tice, your winner of the London Recreational Racing Sportsman Series preseason shootout right here at the Daytona International Speedway. That'll definitely be some big-time momentum heading into the next race, which will start the season.
And I tell you what, it was a great night from Daytona Beach, Florida here. We learned a little bit about what we might see next week, but hopefully, assuming all things go well in the production, we have new ticker graphics, new graphics altogether. We demonstrated some of them. Some will stay, some will go here tonight, but we're excited for that new season, new year, new look for us over here at CFI. And then for Sunday, we've got the I've Got Balls 250, the 4th annual running of that, one of the biggest events of the year on iRacing. So plenty of good stuff coming up here on CFI, so make sure you stay tuned in for it all. But for tonight's race here, the London Recreational Racing Sportsman Series is